Hey y'all, here I am with another little dolly video, and as you can see here, I've got two Barbie Dream Bestie Get Ready With Me dolls. I've got the Queen Brooklyn Barbie and our girl, regular Barbie, right over here, Miss Malibu. And I'm really happy to have gotten both of these. Now, I'm not much of like a person for like gimmicks on dolls. I really just love the gift sets and like just the way that these dolls look like overall in general. I think they kind of look like little comic book characters and like little cartoony like tunes and whatnot. I feel like these are kind of giving like Looney Tunes humans, if that makes any sense. But like, yeah, here we have Miss Brooklyn over here. Now, their boxes are virtually the same. We just got the Barbie Dream Besties logo over here, and all of the gorgeous cunty artwork of the dolls, and like the little gimmick being displayed and whatnot. I think this one has like a hair chalk gimmick or whatnot. And then we have the little window into everything that she comes with. I really wanted her because she has pink eyeshadow, pink lips, and this like nice little pink bathrobe with the ribbon on it. And I thought that was really cute. And Miss Malibu Barbie over here just has a nice little lavender tone bathrobe on. And like a pink dress. Now, I am seeing that this comes with like a whole bunch of the little hair chalk, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be using it, but I'm definitely going to be using these dolls as bases to like restyle and whatnot. And then on the back of the box, you can just see that we have more of these stock photos and like everything else being demonstrated for like both of these divas over here. And you just have the logo as well as the available on YouTube Kids, like other logo and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really happy I got this set, and I can't wait to dress up these little fashion divas and like restyle them and try to put them in like the most like cuntiest outfits that we can come up with, because you know, these are fine on like a base level, but like it's not exactly giving like fashion or whatever the hell. But yeah, in the next clip they're both just gonna be out of the box. Here we've got these gorgeous slumber party divas together. They're literally just sitting on this little purple couch that I got from the Dollar Tree. But here they are in all of their fully unboxed glory, and they honestly look so much better outside of the box, and they just display so well like on this little couch that I got. And overall, like, I'm just impressed, you know, just by how generally cute and adorable they look. They literally look like they're just having a little, like, you know, slumber party together and, like, vlogging it and doing a whole bunch of cutesy hair stuff and makeup and, like, whatnot. And here we just have Miss Malibu Barbie over here, serving lavender realness. And then we obviously have Miss Brooklyn Barbie, serving you bubblegum Pepto-Bismol pink. Really love the way that these little like bathrobes look. Although I feel like they could have done maybe just like a little bit more with like the fabric, or like maybe even like put like a pattern on the fabric. I feel like cheetah print or leopard print would have looked really good with these, in my humble opinion though. And we just have that classic like little 80s Barbie like bee right over there on like the corners. And obviously she is lavender and she is pink. And they just come with these little tripods / ring lights, so that they could attach their phones and like vlog everything. And they have these like tiny little like animal like fuzzy slippers that are made out of plastic. Barbie's is just this like kind of like bunny or whatever, like a regular white bunny rabbit, and they're kind of like platform chunky wedges. And then Miss Brooklyn over here is just a tiny little like teddy bear, a tiny fluffy pink teddy bear. And we just have these giant bows that the girls kind of like come with, but you have to like, you know, unbox them or whatever. And overall, I think the hair is like really nice quality and like a nice heavy soft like buttery like saran and whatnot. Although I do feel like Barbie's is like really like strangely tangled and matted for like no reason, and like she's obviously like a newly freshly unboxed doll, so I don't know what the deal is with that. I've noticed that on some of the like Lagunas from like the Monster High G3 dolls recently, and like some Monster High dolls in general that just have saran hair. Sometimes it just comes already like tangled up and like a little bit frizzy like straight out of the box these days. I don't know why, but obviously you can just do a little boil wash and like condition and like brush through it and whatnot. But yeah, we just have these divas in their first outfits before I model them in their second ones. And then we just have this little ensemble right over here with these little shoes and like the little makeup palette and brushes and like whatnot. This is Barbie stuff. And then we've got Brooklyn stuff right over here. Very nice like regular like slim shaped like bodice or whatever with this kind of like bubble skirt at the bottom. I just kind of wish that it was in like a less like flashy pattern, or like maybe even had a bit more like detail to it. But here we have Miss Brooklyn stuff. She comes with a little comb and these like chunky platforms that look very Mycene-esque a little bit. Although I do kind of feel like Barbie Dream Besties is kind of like the Mycene of today for like the little children or whatever, because brats are obviously back and you know they have regular lines out now. But yeah, now for both of these girlies' hairstyles, they have a like half up, half down like ponytail and whatnot. And Miss Brooklyn over here has her painted on baby hairs, as she should. And we have Barbie over here with her like, you know, plain Jane self and whatnot, and her platinum blonde hair. And she's just got these chunky brown eyebrows. They kind of look like a blondish brown or whatnot, or like a darker blonde if I'm not mistaken. And then we kind of come down to this like little graphic liner moment. It kind of looks like a periwinkle graphic liner layered on top of the like purple like eyeshadow that you see. And then it just has this like very thick winged eyeliner. And as you can see, she's just got her very bright blue eyes with the little like, I think like light brown like mascara like on her waterline, like, and her like regular lashes like at the same color as well. And she's kind of got this like little like highlight like shimmer sheen to her face, which like I don't really mind. And she's got pink blush as well as like these kind of like bubblegum pink lips with this little like white shine like painted on and whatnot. And they're a little bit shimmery, honestly. And then moving on to Miss Brooklyn over here, she's just got kind of the same like shape of like eyebrows that Miss Barbie over here has, but they're kind of like, they kind of honestly remind me of like 2015 brows, honestly, back when I was like getting into makeup and like trying to make my eyebrows look as thick and brick as possible. But anyways, as you can see, she's kind of got the same graphic liner like eyeshadow moment going on in different colors. There's just like deep dark raspberry tone as like the base shadow, and then over it we just have this like very like cream colored like bubblegum pink liner layered on underneath the like black winged liner and whatnot. And she's just got these bright expressive brown eyes and like these very pretty freckles on her face. And she just has the like brown liner and like mascara on her bottom lashes. And she's got these like bubblegum pink lips, which are very pretty. And I can't exactly tell if she has any blush on her face, but if she does, it might just be like the lightest pink, honestly. But yeah, moving on to these little accessories. Now I know that you're supposed to unbox these and there's supposed to be other like things in here or whatnot. Or I think the things are like right here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but we have these little barrettes over here and this little face mask and like these little hair ties for Miss Malibu Barbie. And then these are for Miss Brooklyn over here. She's just got these little hearts and this other little stuff and whatnot. But yeah, in the next clip, their outfits are gonna be on. Here we've got these gorgeous divas out of the box and in their first outfits that I will be showcasing, because these are obviously the outfits that they come with in the little set, although in my personal opinion it's not really giving like fashion. You know what I mean? Like this is just giving like sheen. But we're gonna go ahead and fix that up a bit. I'm not gonna act like this isn't like cute on like a base level, but like it's just not really like what I like am envisioning for the Barbie Dream Besties. But yeah, we just have Miss Malibu Barbie over here in her little pink ensemble or whatever the fuck. And then we just have these little shoes over here that have these pink bows on them, and they're these like kind of really high platform shoe, or like heel almost. They kind of look like Going Out Jade's shoes from the Going Out Bratz collection, so I don't know who did what first, but clearly this style of shoe is becoming very popular. But yeah, we have Miss Brooklyn over here in her little purple like outfit and whatnot with this little bubble skirt. And then we have these kind of like Mycene-esque looking like shoes. And they kind of look like really like chunky platform like pleasers, honestly. But yeah, here we have these divas and their extra accessories. Miss Brooklyn came with this little fuchsia and like neon yellow like makeup brushes and like this little blue Barbie comb, as well as with the little palette and like cell phone. And then Barbie just has this like kind of periwinkle brush and like aqua teal blue kind of like fan brush. And she's got a regular like mini Barbie brush, and as well as her, you know, makeup palette and phone and whatnot. But yeah, I think in the next clip I'm gonna be showing off like more of the outfits that I'm gonna like put together from like my little dolly wardrobe. But yeah, stay tuned for that, y'all. Here we have our Barbie baddies dressed up in different outfits. As you can see here, I literally took these off and ripped them off immediately so that I could give them something just a little bit less like sheen coated and more like, I guess, maximalist coated. As you can see, I put Miss Barbie in this really giant like fuchsia pink, like fluffy, like collared, like mink looking coat or whatever, and I layered that over this like Barbie fashion pack. I'm trying to see if I have any other things to like layer her in, but like at the moment this is like what I have to start off with. And then with Miss Brooklyn Barbie over here, I just have her in this little like 80s Barbie crop top with like a really low neckline and this like Live doll like sweater and whatnot. I believe this is Katie's sweater. And then she's just wearing these like Barbie fashion pack like pants or whatnot. I wish that these pants were just like a little bit more tailored and like had a little bit of like a smaller inseam like right over here, because I've had to like take a rubber band and kind of like tie it up in the back just to like cinch it in a little bit. But they're both just wearing the regular shoes that they came with, because Barbie Dream Bestie molds are a little bit bigger than like, you know, a regular like standard 12-inch fashion doll shoes. But yeah, I think that they look a lot more like, I guess, individualistic, and they serve a lot more personality or whatever. But I'm really happy to have gotten these at least, because they do come with at least, you know, 2 very like sleepy like slumber party looks and like, you know, 2 going out like looks or whatever. And these are kind of like, you know, my version of like their going out, like what they would be dressed in, I guess, if they were to dress themselves or whatever. But yeah, I really do love these, and they definitely like redress and like look very perfect like as soon as you know, dress them up in different outfits and whatnot. I literally just set them up like they were going to have a slumber party, because I got these 2 little like miniature like doll beds from the Dollar Tree. I think they fit dolls that are like 9 inches tall or like maybe 10 inches tall, but obviously I have my little 11.5-inch girlies just chilling out over here. It looks like they're just having a tiny little like slumber party and whatnot. I really do like the way that I set it up, because it's just like a very like typical like, you know, Y2K sleepover. They got their rotary phone, they got their tunes on the boombox, you know what I mean? They don't really need anything else. But yeah, I'm really happy that I got these divas, and I really hope that y'all liked that little review, because I didn't really think that I was going to be getting them. I had seen these dolls for like maybe 2 months, and like they had looked very pretty to me, but like the last couple of Barbie Dream Besties that I got weren't really doing it much for me clothing wise, and like I redressed them, and I kind of just wanted to wait for Barbie Dream Besties that had like better looking clothes or like a stronger theme or whatever. But you know, I could always just redress them in their little PJs and like make it look like they're having little self-care time. But yeah, I really do love these divas, and like I'm really happy that I dressed them up like so colorfully. I really need to like re-up on like my doll clothes like a lot, especially like my vintage doll clothes. I need to find like a lot on eBay that has like a lot of like nice pieces, because I feel like a lot of these newer Barbie pieces just look very like fantasy and like, you know, not like grounded in real life or whatever. Like this is definitely like maximalist stuff, obviously, that like people would wear in real life, like, you know, that piece and like this piece and whatnot. But some of the outfits that they sell together in like a full set just like are mismatched as fuck. They don't really look proper, and they look really, really juvenile. And like the regular Barbie dolls, like I know that their target demographic isn't like 2-year-olds, you know what I mean? Like I remember back in the day when like girls would literally still be playing with Barbies at like 17 years old, because the Fashion Fever line was actually that girl, and they were producing some of the best lines of and like clothes and like, you know, just like really great like miniature doll clothes in general. I would really like them to start getting back to like more realer looking like designs. And like I don't mean realer as in like less fantastical or less like, I guess, flashy. I just mean grounded more in reality, like with more realistic looking textiles and like patterns and tones and like more realistically looking constructed pieces, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? I feel like it would also be really neat if like Barbie Dream Besties could kind of like, you know, start using more of the like regular like textiles and like more earth tones and like more realistic looking like clothing patterns and stuff like that for Dream Besties, because I feel like, you know, my scene as like a competitor to Bratz back in the day, you know, they had the clothes on lock, they had the textiles on lock, they had the urban streetwear fashion like inspiration to be like, you know, taking inspiration from. I feel like we haven't really seen like a very like well thought out like, you know, doll line with like, you know, nice streetwear like we did with my scene and with like, you know, Bratz or whatever. And like I'm not entirely sure if like it's just because like, you know, focus groups and like testing like shows that like streetwear I guess doesn't like really tickle a child's like brain or whatever, or like pique their interest as much as like the really bright and like funky tones and like really ugly ass juvenile looking patterns. But like I remember when we were children and we had dolls and their outfits literally looked like they came from like an adult woman's like magazine, you know what I mean? Those clothes looked like they were ripped straight out of Delia's catalogs and like Abercrombie and Fitch ads, you know what I mean? So like I think it would be really cool and really neat and very fucking smart if Mattel would go ahead and like, you know, try to get back more to their like very fashionable and like very human like realistic looking roots, you know what I mean? Because I feel like back then, you know, Barbie fashion fever dolls or just regular Barbie dolls in general, they looked like regular like really pretty girls that you would see on the street like going from place to place or just like walking about, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my little 2 cents and my little opinion. I hope y'all liked that little video and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye divas!